Imagine this. Xbox finally launches a handheld, something that the fans have been clamoring for years, dreaming of a true competitor to the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch. And when it finally happens, Microsoft says, sure, but it's going to be $1,000. That's not a typo, guys. $1,000 for a portable Xbox that, get this, doesn't even natively play Xbox games. Is Xbox completely out of touch here, or are we watching the beginning of a bigger crisis? This is coming right off of them charging even more money for their 5-year plus old console, the Xbox Series X. I don't understand what they're thinking at this point. So here's the current situation. Pre-orders for the Xbox handheld went live randomly at 7 p.m. on a Thursday with no hype, a lot of confusion. The original leaks were suggesting that it might land around $900, which is already steep. But Microsoft pushed it even higher, guys, slapping on that $1,000 tag. $1,000. Who in their right mind will think, hey, let me buy this handheld for $1,000? You might as well just get a PC. You could probably get a decent PC for $1,000 or build one for that or get started at it. But for a handheld, no way. And like I said, here's what's wild. The Xbox fan base, right? The people who ride or die for Game Pass, who love racking up achievements, who still call themselves Team Green, are looking at this and going, nope, not a chance. So Xbox has alienated its fan base. Yeah, even the most loyal fans are asking the obvious question. Why would anybody buy this thing? Especially when the hardware under the hood isn't even top of the line. This is almost a pointless handheld. It's a little too late, and there's not enough here for that $1,000 price tag. So let's put this into perspective, guys. Let's really sit here. Let's talk technicalities. The Steam Deck right now, right? Valve's system that already has a massive library, has mod support, it has a huge community backing. It sells for about $320 on sale. $320. That's less than 1/3 of the price of this Xbox handheld. Let that sink in, guys. The Asus ROG Ally, a console that is 20% weaker than this new device that Xbox is making, goes for $500. Again, it's half the price, and it's only 20% weaker. So when you stack it up, guys, what's the value proposition here? Is this new Xbox handheld worth it? It's not some magical powerhouse, guys. The chips inside are comparable to devices that are literally hundreds of dollars cheaper, that have a more massive library, that have better compatibility with games from Steam. It feels like Microsoft is literally testing how far they can push fans before they basically boycott them. I think they're getting money hungry here, along with people like Nintendo and Sony. Let's be honest, these guys are idiots at this point. And based on the internet's reaction, I think Xbox finally crossed the shit line. They finally crossed the shit line. So here's the bigger issue and why this matters for gaming. This isn't just about one overpriced gadget, guys. It points to a bigger problem with Xbox, one that could possibly be deeper. That's profitability, right? Former Xbox vice president, I think his name was Mike Ibarra, he said it himself, guys. These price hikes aren't about tariffs or global shortages. They're about profits. Xbox simply isn't pulling the numbers that Microsoft wants. So now they're just raising the price of everything. Again, like I said earlier this last week, they announced beginning in a couple of weeks, they're going to be raising the price of their consoles. So not only is the consoles expensive, but now the handheld is expensive. That's why we're seeing these price climbs all across the board, right? The Series X is now nearly $700, almost $200 more expensive than it was at launch 5 years ago. Consoles are supposed to get cheaper. 5 years later, we're paying $200 more, and now they're trying to get away with this $1,000 handheld. It's unacceptable. And here's the real danger with this, guys. If this becomes the trend, right? What happens when the next gen consoles drop? What if the PS6 is $1,200? What if the Switch 2 Pro is $700 or $800? Gaming could literally be walking straight into a wall where normal players just tap out completely and we go PC. And it's starting to look that way, guys. And I think this is signs of panic at Xbox, to be completely honest. I think we're seeing other red flags here. Costco just announced that They're not going to be selling Xbox consoles altogether. Yeah, Costco, one of the biggest retailers in the world, has apparently dropped Xbox consoles altogether, and that's a massive sign that demand isn't where it should be. We might not be seeing Xbox brand pretty soon. Think about that. If stores don't even want to carry your hardware, what does that say about the health of your brand? Add to the fact that Xbox keeps leaning onto Game Pass to keep people invested, and you start to see the cracks forming. This handheld was supposed to be part of Xbox Play Anywhere dream. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox, but instead it looks like it's another desperate attempt to make their hardware profitable. The truth is, in the handheld wars, price will always win. Price matters, guys. Gamers don't want the flashiest hardware if it costs an arm and a leg. They want something that's affordable and that actually works. And that's why the Steam Deck has exploded in popularity. That's why the Nintendo Switch has dominated for years despite being underpowered. And if Xbox really wanted to compete, they should have come in at 500 or maybe 600. I would accept 600. At $1,000, this device isn't even in the discussion. Like, forget that. It's an automatic no for me. And this is where it matters for you guys, because if Microsoft succeeds even just a little bit with pricing like this, it's going to set a new standard. Whether you like it or not, it will tell every other company that gamers will tolerate higher prices with fewer features and less value. And that's the scary part, because if this handheld somehow moves units, don't be surprised when the PS6 launches at 1,200, like I said, or the Switch 2 Pro is creeping around 700, 800 bucks. These companies are watching each other. Whether you believe it or not, they are watching each other closely. And if one gets away with raising prices up to these absurd amounts, the others will follow, guys. I'm not going to get one. I know people are going to ask me, Eric, are you going to get one of these? No, there's absolutely no point to getting one of these. There's no value. I don't see any reason to get one of these. I don't even like playing in handheld. My Switch stays docked at all times, but that Switch did not cost me $1,000, and you can run games natively on it. This Xbox provides no redeeming qualities. If I want to play Game Pass games, I'll use my Series X or I'll use this gaming laptop right here. This is a pointless $1,000 money grab, and in my opinion, if you buy one, you're falling for it and you're not helping gamers in general. You're caving into corporations taking advantage of us, just bar none. So I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to end this video on this. Would you ever spend $1,000 on a handheld that can't even natively run these Xbox games? Or is this the breaking point where Xbox finally loses even its hardcore fans? Let me know in the comments. I really want to see how many people are actually considering this thing. Like, if there's somebody in the comments, you might get roasted, but if you really are considering this thing, let me know. And go ahead and hit that subscription button. If you're not subscribed, hit that like, that dislike. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching as always. $1,000, Jesus.